We've spoken to the UKWOT Otter Trust before with their rehabilitation centre based right here in North Devon. Unfortunately, last week they became victim of flooding and had to relocate the cubs away from floodwaters. Founder Dave Webb joins us now. Hi, Dave.
Hiya, how are you?
Hi, yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for your time today. So tell us what happened.
Well, basically, we're next to the River Mole, and it's a bit prone to flooding, sadly. But this one was a bit extreme, and the river rose by probably about 8 feet, which then spilled into a culvert, and that then overflowed into our car park and rehabilitation centre.
So what damage was caused?
There was a freezer that was not too good, and it's really more water damage. Sort of, it just leaves a mess when it's flooded. Very muddy, very messy. The enclosures, one was completely underwater, so we've had to strip everything out of that, and obviously we'll be leaving that one now to sort of regenerate a bit, because it's a bit of a slush bath in there. Things like gates are swollen, so they'll need to be sort of revamped or replaced.
We've spoken before about the rehabilitation centre and how brilliant it is. So for those who haven't heard about it before, remind us of the work of it and what it aims to do.
Yeah, so what we do, we take in orphaned otter cubs, and we're taking any otter, basically, that we specialise in that one species, and we rehabilitate them, which takes about a year, and then they go back into the wild. So we look after them for a year, get them fit and healthy, get them nice and fat, and then we find a release site for them, and then we put them back into the wild.
And on top of this flooding incident that happened last week, it's already been an extremely busy year for you, hasn't it? How many cubs have you saved so far?
It has, yeah. We've actually dealt with 32 this last year, 2022, and released well over 20. So, yeah, it's been a very busy year. Already here at the moment where we're sat, we're up to about 16 at the moment already. And bearing in mind it's only the third week in January, it looks like it could be even busier. Hope not, because the idea is not to have them in a perfect world, but it's not how it works. So,
That's not how it works. You're right.
It's going to be busy, I think.
So when it comes to the otter cubs that you have with you now, or the otters that you have with you now, were they aware of this flooding last week? Did they become distressed? What sort of action did you have to take?
No, they didn't, because we were watching the levels of the water quite closely, monitoring it. The wife was monitoring it most of the day. So when it got to a certain point, we made the decision that there was 8 cubs that we had to relocate. The other ones were okay. They're on higher ground, so we relocated 8. Luckily, we've got things like indoor enclosures in stables and things like that. So it was, it was easier because we had somewhere to put them, and we basically got those 8 to safety so that we knew they would be okay. And then obviously once it succeeded the water, we then got in and put them back into some enclosures. We've made adjustments here. Obviously, we've had to buy 200 sandbags. We've had to buy a couple hundred concrete blocks and things like this to raise halts up off of the ground, just sort of more prevention rather than cure.
Yeah.
But if it happens again, then we know with the halts up and sandbags in place, we know hopefully that if it happens again, we've got a bit more of a fighting chance with it.
Yeah, and of course all this costs money, doesn't it, that you don't expect to be spending. If anyone's listening at the moment and wants to support you and help, sort of fix any damage that's been caused or support you in the future, how can they go about it?
So if they go onto our website, obviously any help is much appreciated. If they go onto our website, there's quite prominent donate buttons on there. If they click on that, it's a secure site that is used, and that comes through. And that'll be the best way. It's certainly the easiest way that way. And also on there, under the fundraising bit, there's also our bank details. So if people prefer to use bank transfer, they can.
Yeah. And when it comes to flooding and sort of water stuff, you'd assume that the otters are probably better placed to cope with it than us humans.
Yeah, you would. I mean, obviously, water's not an issue to them because they're semi-aquatic. The problem is that because of the design of what we do and the way we do it, they're obviously in enclosed pens, enclosures, and obviously if that floods, the hulk that's in there, the wooden box that they're living in, that won't float. So actually, they wouldn't have somewhere dry, or they didn't have somewhere to dry at that point. So if they went into the hulk, potentially they could have been underwater, and that could then potentially be fatal if you don't move them, because they would drown because they can't go anywhere as such because they're enclosed. So that's why we've put things in place now that the hulks will be risen. There'll be flood defences put in place. And stuff like that.
Well done to you all for acting fast before the floodwaters came in the other day as well, because you say your wife was out there measuring it, making sure that everything was safe. It's those things you have to sort of be looking forward and sort of seeing ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's right. It's preempting it. We've got these things in place. All the materials are on site now. So the volunteers, who all of them have been absolutely amazing, as they always are. We've had a couple of long days here, getting stuff cleaned up, getting stuff moved around, getting stuff unloaded. But yeah, I mean, I always say I've got the easy job. It's the volunteers that make this place. They're the ones that do the hard work. I just run around shouting at people and waving my arms about. So we can't do it. We can't do it without those people. So they're an integral part of what we do.
Your running around shouting is very important as well, though, because things wouldn't happen if you didn't do that. So don't do yourself down. Are you looking for more volunteers?
We can never have enough volunteers. Certainly in the summertime, obviously when the weather's nicer, there's always lots to do. Things like grass trimming, tree pruning, painting, repairing fences. There's a multitude of things to do, feeding, all sorts. So we're always looking for volunteers. And again, the email address is on the website. If somebody pings us an email, we can then obviously respond to that and then come over and have a look and have a chat and see if it's what they'd like to do. And if they do, then we can go with that.
Wonderful.
That way.
Wonderful. What are your plans for 2023 with the UKWOT Otter Trust? Have you got lots of grand plans, or just keeping things ticking over and trying to remain dry?
I think the main thing is, just our aim is always the same. Get as many, rescue as many as we can possibly get to do that. Get them fit and healthy and get them out into the wild, and just tick along as we're going. I mean, the way we're doing things at the moment works well. We've got very, very good success records. Just keep doing, do it better if we can.
Yeah. I have to say as well, I've been following you on social media and looking on the website, and I've seen the video footage that you've taken of the floods and the damage that's happened over the last week or so. And so it's really good to hear that you're on, the other side of it now, and you're looking towards the future. And I have to point out that the videos on the website and social media of the otter cubs are absolutely brilliant as well. Keep them coming, please.
Yeah, we will do. Yeah. We got. I do take a few videos and then I send them to somebody else to do all the technical stuff. But yeah.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Popular,
so remind us once more, Dave, the website where we can find out more information.
Okay, so our website is www.UKWOTottertrust.org. Nice and simple. I say there's loads of information on there, not just a donate button. There's lots of information on there about what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and then obviously the donate button's on there as well.
We're loving North Devon. This is The Voice.